PE578, how's it going? Um, I just want to respond to the burnout section, Unit 9, respond to the questions and the assessment. When did you burn out? As an athlete, I think the times I burned out were after like long tournaments. I played basketball, so um, like AAU, we had long tournaments. High school, so on and so forth. Um, the weeks where we just had tournaments and games, we'd have 3 games in one day, back to back, or even like an hour break in between 3 games would just be um, a wear and tear on my body. During 2 days, like conditioning week, um, I would get a little burnt out, physically, psychologically, especially having if I ever had to work or anything like that. I'd say now, presently, I overtrain my body as far as um, in workouts like weightlifting. Um, so basketball and weightlifting and doing sprints are the activities I do now. How intensely? Number 3, how intensely were you training when you burned out? Because I'm someone who likes to do extra reps, who's a perfectionist, and was a gym rat. My workouts were hours upon hours until I felt I got it perfected. For example, for a basketball workout, I remember practicing um, times where I just wanted to swish a ball 3 times in a row. Um, I would start over until I did it correctly, or I felt like, okay, I switched it 3 times. Now I can move on. So I mean, I would practice hours upon hours, and it would be a wear and tear on my body. And actually, this past week I was, lifting real hard, weightlifting real hard, and I remember it was maybe like 2 days ago where I was just like, okay, I need a break. I went to the OC fair and just needed the time off because I was just mentally and just physically just tired. How did you physically feel at this time? During that time of playing basketball a lot, with practicing and being in good shape as far as basketball shape, I felt great physically. I think now, as a coach, I think it's more of a chore and a job to do it um, because I'm not working towards anything. I think before I knew I wanted to win games, I wanted to be a starter. I wanted to help my team become better. But now I like to do more strength and conditioning rather than basketball workouts. Um, so now I feel great as far as when I do, weightlifting and, um, because I want to reach my peak physique, peak performance as far as weightlifting and conditioning. Um, and from time to time I will do basketball workouts, and granted, if I need to train a player as well, I'll sometimes do a workout with them. Um, but I feel great, and I feel great now. But there are times where I do burn out, especially because of my perfectionism, if that's a word. I uh, I do burn out sometimes, mentally and physically. Um, how did you psychologically feel at this time? Like I said, there are times where I was exhausted. I think I dreaded the times as a high school athlete, where we condition and hell week, so to speak, because I was trying to understand my body and grow into it. Um, my mindset was I always had this mental toughness, but I think during these times I didn't want to lose in a sprint or any type of race against my teammates. So I think I got distracted with, as we talked about in the other unit, negative self talk, um, you know, self evaluation, judgmental, problems as well going through your head. Um, so number 6, relative to questions 4 and 5, how long did you feel this way? I mean, it depends. It could have been I could have dreaded for a few hours. or knowing that we have to do more sprints the next day or more exercise the next day for punishment or just for conditioning as an athlete. It was just daunting. It was psychologically like, oh, like, man, we got another day of this. So yeah. And then number seven, did your symptoms occur suddenly or build up over time? I think it built up over time. I remember my first year of track was my sophomore year of high school. I get psychologically burnt out. I never did track. I only did it for the workout. But whenever I'm in a mode of competition or I know I'm going to compete, um, especially if it's not my strength, like track wasn't my strength, basketball was my strength. Psychologically, I would burn myself out. The assessment, some situational demands, excessive demands on time, um, parental involvement, uh, inconsistent feedback, restrictive or negative feedback. Um, Especially in basketball, my dad would always, lay it on me if I didn't do something right. So over time, sometimes it would get burnt out. Injuries, I wasn't really injury prone, but I mean, one of the times I got injured, like an ankle sprain or anything like that, it definitely burned me out. Training loads, the amount I train, the number of repetitions I do, especially if I don't do it perfectly. Um, Cognitive appraisal of the situation, lack of meaning and devaluation of activity. If I don't find activity meaningful because I'm a purpose driven person, uh, I think it's hard for me to not be burned out during those times and not just dread it. Um, Fatigue definitely is a factor for sure. As far as I'm really intense in my workouts. High intensity is what I love, so I'm always going in motion. Um, I think anger slash irritability was something I put on the assessment. Muscle soreness as well for burnout. Um, Self-critical and perfectionism. Like I said, those are two things that I continually wrestle with because I want it. Even though now I still consider myself an athlete, but I'm not competing necessarily for